Do you know Evan Carmichael? Here is in this video one-on-one coaching I had with him on December 7th on how to find my one word or how to better define my one word. Hopefully you will enjoy. That was an amazing interview. And if you have any questions, comments about the IGLive, please put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So enjoy.
We are live. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is my YouTube day, so spend the day making content for you guys. If you don't have a day in your calendar, if content is important for you and you do not have a day in your calendar to focus on making content, you'll never make content, right? It just remains some hope, some dream, some aspiration, but you'll never actually do it unless you actually have it in your calendar, right? You can have all the greatest ideas in the world, but until it's in your calendar, it will not happen. So today is my YouTube day, but I'm taking a quick break to be with you guys and bring in Alain. We're going to have a fun conversation together and hopefully get inspired. And there he is. How you doing?
Hello, Evan. Very nice, thank you. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good, man. I woke up crazy early. I got out of bed at 4:30. I woke up at 3:30 for whatever reason. Couldn't sleep, so I just got up and started working. Went on Discord. You're pretty active on our Discord, which is always amazing to see. And
yeah, it's nice to see.
Film some videos, and now we're here. So excited to be here with Alain. Alain is part of Movie Makers, which is amazing. And also got one of my NFTs and part of doing an IGLive together as a bonus. So here we are, man. What do you got? How can I help? It's great to see you again.
Yes, it is indeed. Actually, it was nice. Actually, the whole NFT journey, it was amazing because at some point you said, I have NFTs, and I tried 3 times to get NFTs. And at some point I stepped back and said, okay, I got to study, I got to learn how it's done. And that's why when there's one morning you said, okay, here's my new NFT. And within 15 minutes, it was mine because I had planned it so well. I was waiting for that one NFT or the next one to come out. So it was beautiful. So thanks again for that. It's a lot of good learning for us.
So I was process for you to get on board with NFTs.
The biggest issue I had was how to get, so I was able to get a wallet, but I did not know how to get money into the wallet so that I could buy the NFT on OpenSea. That was my biggest thing. Because
coming from Canada, what did you use? Because it's harder for Canadians.
Oh, it is hard. So I tried 3 different wallets, and the best way I found is I used Newton. So Newton is a place for us to buy Ethereum.
Yeah.
So I tried 3 different wallets. So what I did is I go into Newton, and then somehow they are happy with my bank, and that's how I could transfer the money. Because all the other platforms, there was a block. My bank did not want to transfer the money. They were saying it's not safe. It is difficulty. So Newton was the only one I could do that.
And an e-transfer or what?
So I did. It was an e-transfer. Yes. Okay. So from my checking account. So from Newton, you send a request to my bank. So the bank says you have a request. Do you accept? You say yes, and the money goes in within a few hours. So
and what's the
was nice
on your e-transfer?
Ooh, I think it was $5,000. I have to double check. Okay. So I'm very far from that. Yeah. But there was a limit there. There's a limit daily, but you can do it every day. So
I looked at Newton. I ended up going with Kraken.
Oh.
Did a wire transfer.
Okay.
I'm at TD Bank, so we did wire transfer to Kraken. It took about a week. That's the hardest part. Just getting the money into crypto, and then once you're in there, it's just relatively easy. But anyway, I'm curious because you're Canadian, I'm Canadian, and we have our own issues getting into crypto.
I know.
Anyway,
there you go.
Can I help? Let's go, man.
So I have some good questions. So I've been watching you for months and years. So I know the process. I know how you think. I know I need to create content. I know to be consistent. I know that you have to have a vision, that one word, so you can go into the one direction. So all of this, I understand it theoretically. So because I can learn, and I'm very good at that. But once I take what I've learned to apply it, that's another issue sometimes. And that's why I'm a teacher. I can learn to teach, but to apply it, it's much harder. Yeah. So I was trying to figure out how to make it better. So I do love the process of creating contents, making video and editing. My biggest thing I've realized in the last few months is that I have a one word, but I think it's becoming a bit fluid. So I've lost my bearing. I've lost that true north where I know what's the topic of my next video, or I know why I'm doing it. I have a big picture. So I was trying to reflect on what's the best way. So I'm just giving you the context of how things are. So I was thinking about, is it possible that it's my one word that needs to shift a little bit? So when I went to Utah Leadership Academy a few years back, I had that word that was explore. I love to explore. I used to be a geologist. You just go out there and you learn. And then my word became to learn. That was the best thing ever. The difficulties I have right now is you can learn a whole bunch of things, and I can help people to learn, but there's something missing where how can you take what you learn to make a better world?
Mhm.
So that's the one place that I have difficulties, and that's why I need your help today. So does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And listen, I appreciate your honesty and openness.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a hard time pivoting and switching,
Mm.
changing, because when you say that you're this, it's hard to then shift because you've already said I'm this, right? Especially if you say it publicly. So I just applaud your willingness to say it and courage to come on and say it. If you had to think about it, what would explore and learn? What would the parent of those two be?
And that was my next step. So I worked on that in the last week or two.
Okay.
So I was trying to, so I'm basically a teacher, and I love the idea of education. So you educate yourself so you can make the world a better place.
Yeah.
So the idea of educate and education is a good word, but for me, it's too generic. Like you can talk about education, but then you can be part of the system. You want to push people in the system. Whereas I think as a movement maker, we want to go a bit beyond.
Mm-hmm.
We want to learn. We want to go beyond that. So the other words I was trying to look was improve, but improve to do what? So it's that idea that I know that I can help people be better.
Mm-hmm.
I can get them to self-reflect so
Mm-hmm.
that they can do what's best for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good at that for other people, but when it gets to me, so much harder because that's my personality. So I was looking at achieve as an option. Teacher, I find it very limiting. So education was one that could be good, but I feel that I need a better word. So I've been going through synonyms and website to try to find a better word, and it's tough.
Well, okay, listen, what you said was interesting about improve. So you said
Okay.
good at doing that for other people, but not good at it for yourself.
And it is true because I take students that are 13 and I bring them to the end of a semester. So they've learned a whole bunch of things and then I let them go. I said, hey, you can do great things. And sometimes I see them in grade 11 or 12. And it's good to say, okay, well, let's go and continue doing the path. So in some ways, I help. It's a bit like you. I'm helping them, guiding them, coaching them so that they stay who they are. But it's harder for me to do that. Hence you.
Like a public school teacher?
Yes.
How long?
How long? I've been since 1999, so more than 20 years.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Okay, so 20 years of teaching,
I know.
You've got some, I'm sure, crazy stories and students that stand out. I mean, you've taught so many students, but I'm sure some of them stand out over the years of like, wow, what a transformation that's happened. And maybe people have come back over the years and said, hey, Alain, like, here's where I'm at now. If you think about the 5 to 10 most memorable students that stand out, what is it about their journey that you feel so, obviously you had a small part, but that part made you feel really good. What was it about them and them growing? Like, what words come to mind when you think about those people and the impact you had on them?
Okay. Is the willingness to try and to trust that they'll be okay at the end. Like in Canada, there's nothing very big that you can do that you cannot just get back up and try again. So I love those aha moments. You know, you're with someone and then you discuss and then you see in their eyes, oh, I get it, or they have that spark.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like that I've noticed that people that go the furthest, they have that spark. It's not me giving them the spark, but it's their own spark. And they're willing to say, okay, let's see what I can do for that. And not being afraid of that learning has the positive side, there's successes, but there's some failure, and just be resilient. Like we've done, I was thinking of resilient as a word too, but it's part of the movement maker.
Okay.
So
they had something special already. They already had a bit of a spark to them.
yes.
What did Alain give them on top that helped them really progress?
Was to nurture the spark. So to make them realize that first, the spark is okay, acknowledge the spark and trust it. And second, to have the confidence to say, okay, what's the next step so that I can get the spark a bit bigger, and then get the fire going for them to go, either in some post-secondary education or create their own company or others.
See, that's where I would play in terms of figuring out yours, because that's
okay.
That's the secret sauce that you really love bringing to them. And listen, they had something already inside them. You know, they would have gone on and done great things without you, but you watered them, you helped them, you nurtured them.
Yeah.
You know, you helped supercharge them. So inside of that, if it's spark, so words you said spark, you said nurture, you said momentum, like inside of there, don't think about yourself yet. Just think about those students that you gave the most to, where you felt like, yes, they had something, but you really gave yourself to them and you helped them become better somehow. What's the consistent theme between the 5 to 10 favorite students, and what words come to mind?
Okay, that makes sense.
More.
Because it's interesting, because sometimes you're just part of the movement, or you're part of like you do something and then you don't think about it. And then at the end you say, okay, I did something, and you're not quite sure what you did. And it's interesting to see how that works. A bit like you, I'm sure, with the movement maker.
This is where, for yourself, you need to be a little more bold and a little more, because you're a humble guy. I know it, and I love it, and it's great. And it's easy to say, well, I didn't do that much, and they were great on their own, and I just helped a little bit. This is the time now to be a little more bold and a little more like pat yourself on the back. It's like, you know what? Like I only played a tiny role, but my role was important.
Okay.
And what I gave them was really important. And it filled as much as it did you as well, to know that you spending time with them made them better. So spark or nurture or something else, improve, you know, something in there. Maybe it's like maybe something is coming to mind, or maybe you need to sit on it or sleep on it or meditate on it a little more.
Yeah.
But that's where I would play. Does anything come to mind immediately in thinking about those 5 to 10 students?
Well, all I can think of, I like the word spark, but then I think of the Transformers and the movies and all sparks. So I need my brain to calm down a little bit and figure out how it goes. Because in some ways, I've been part of the system for a long time.
Yeah.
If you think about it. And the system is there to keep some of these, so make sure that you don't go straight too much for what you have to do. So it's a learning experience for me to try to get out of that and just explore and actually do with myself what I tell people to do. So it's one of those.
That's definitely not like how we went down this little rabbit hole together. Was when you said improve, you gave that to other people, but you didn't do it enough for yourself. And so that was justification to skip and move on to the next one. But often whatever we give others the most is what we need the most ourselves too.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I need more believe myself. It's my weakness as well as my greatest strength, right? So the fact that you're not good at giving it to yourself, if anything, means that you probably need to lean in more on it. Like you need to lean more on improvement for yourself. Whether it's improve or spark or something else. But it's sometimes easier to see it in how we help other people. And especially if you've been doing this for 20 years in helping students, and you can even pick out the 5 to 10 students over those 20 years that have kind of left the best impression. There's a reason why you keep teaching because of those great stories that keep coming back. And then move it to yourself, because it's, if you can see it in them and there's a thread between those 5 to 10 people, then it's easy to come back to yourself and say, you know what, like this is actually what I need more for myself too.
But that makes sense. Okay.
I think learn and educate are too close.
Yeah. And I think learning is a bit limiting. I find learning it's great, but it's very selfish. I find you can help people learn, but I think so it's one of those.
Yeah, this is you don't need to convince me of anything, right? This is it's for you.
Yeah, I know.
Learn is like the highest value. Is like great, amazing.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like it's great. It's part of it. So if you were to say, spark or nurture
Mm-hmm.
at the top, and then it's empower. It's not empower. It's what was your first one?
The first one was explore.
Explore, right? Explore,
Yeah.
learn, and something else, right? It could be spark, and then it's explore, learn, and nurture, or it could be nurture, and then explore and spark, right? Like they're all kind of forming the circle of here, but at the end of the day, which one feels the most right to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I was thinking
pick those four: spark, learn, empower, and nurture.
and nurture
What's the
and see.
parent? Is there a clear parent from that?
Not at this point. I'm gonna have to sit down and think of those.
Okay. Well,
Not,
it's not explore. Those are the
it's
kids.
not explore. Yeah, it's not explore, not learn. I like the idea of nurturing, but nurturing, I find it's you nurture yourself. I like the idea of maybe adding something about fire. So you nurture a fire so it grows. So maybe if
listen, like let me just paint a scenario and you see if it feels right. Because
okay.
If you had nurture at the top,
Yeah.
well, what are you nurturing? Well, spark is underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Have the spark or the fire, but it has to be nurtured, and
yeah.
then go learn to get better, and they have to explore to make it all happen. So the fire is a part of it, but it's not the top thing. The spark has to be there, the learning has to be there, the exploration has to be there, but none of it happens unless you're nurturing it.
Mm-hmm. There's also the word shine, like shining.
Yeah.
In some ways that works like the fire and nurturing to get people to shine. In some ways that could work too.
It's a great mental exercise to start with and come up with words.
Yeah.
And then you have to move from the mental to the heart.
Yeah.
And like what feels the best.
Yeah.
Because all of them, all five of those words could work.
Yeah.
But which one's going to you?
And it's important because, as I said, I've done hundreds of videos and I can do content. I like the process, but at some point I need to redefine my bearing a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe I need a wheel. I need 4 or 5, let's say 3 words where maybe during the year it just goes from one to the other. But I want to follow that one idea that there's one word that defines all of it.
Yeah.
So.
And you're not that far off.
Yeah.
It's kind of limiting.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you only talk about the learning side of things, but you're not acknowledging the fire, the spark, or the shine, it just doesn't feel whole yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I was trying to see yesterday, I was looking at, let's see, you have to share the books. It's important. Build to serve right there. Nice. I was looking at the credo because that was one of your idea where you have one word and then you can define or use others.
Yeah.
And learn was that the one word I was using, but explore, grow, and strengths were the 3 words for the credo. So I think it's interesting, and it's interesting because in some ways you need that one spark again of the energy to get up and say, okay, this is what's exciting you in the morning, and you're going to do all the videos you want to do. So it's exciting.
When we said spark, you said transformers. What's that connection for you?
It's there's the potential. It's like an unlimited potential of that seed. So therefore you can let it there, or you can feed it so it can grow and you can achieve anything you want. Because I do feel that, I believe, if you put your mind into something, you can actually succeed. Because I've taught hundreds of students, and they each put their minds into something, and they can succeed. So. But it's interesting.
When I said spark, you said Transformers. I thought the movie Transformers. Maybe you said
that's the one. That's the movie. Yeah.
What's the connection to Transformers for you with the word spark?
Uh, it's the whole idea that you've got to spark to make the world better. So it's that's one energy that the Transformer. I think you like movies
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
you've got the Optimus Prime and the Autobots who just want to keep the peace and keep the positivity in the universe.
Okay.
So that's the idea here.
It's just interesting that your brain went right there. Like, I think if
Yeah.
you said spark and asked, I did a poll, I bet nobody out of 1,000 people say Transformers. So it's interesting, right? Like,
Ooh.
I think spark definitely needs to be a part of it, whether it's
Yeah.
at the top or part of the credo, because it means something to you.
Yeah.
Instantly go to something like Transformers and in a positive way that, hey, this could be the spark to change the world. Like, you could be prime kind of idea.
Yes.
Cool. I like it, right? I go to
Okay.
it with Believe, but if I did a poll on Believe, out of 1,000 people, nobody would say Seabiscuit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So I like it. It's good. I think it speaks to who you are, and if it's not at the top, should be part of the 3 under the credo.
Okay, wonderful. It's there. It's in a notebook.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's outstanding.
Yeah. Homework. I would I would write down the names. Like, the exercise inbuilt to serve for figuring out your who is writing down like your favorite teacher, your favorite movie, right?
Yeah.
And write down 3 keywords for each one. I would do that exercise, but do it with the names of your favorite 5 to 10 students.
Okay.
And
That makes sense.
words that not about them, but about your role with them. Like, they were already a 5 and you came in and added your 1 and they became a 50, right? Instead of like 1 equals 6, 5 plus 1 equals 50, because your 1 became really valuable. So not what was already in them, but what did you add to it that made them blossom even more?
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting comment you have, because if you were to ask me my favorite student,
Okay.
I would have to step back, because I would say that they all my favorite, just to make, because they all at the same place. But I'll have to see that my favorite outcome maybe, or where they were able to grow from when I had them in my class to beyond.
Yeah, not even just the outcome, but like the process of helping them. There are some people you spent more time with. It's just like,
yeah, that's true.
Kids, right? I mean, you don't have to publicly say, oh, this student was great and these ones all suck, right? That's not it.
Thank you.
Some students you spent more time with.
That's true.
You checked in on more than others. You knew you needed a little bit extra help or guidance, and your heart felt connected to them a little. You loved everybody, but there's some people that for whatever reason, it drew you to helping them even more. For sure.
Yeah, okay.
For the past 20 years. And so, who are some of those people that you've had, how many thousands of students, I guess, go through your classes now?
Yeah.
And a lot of them, you probably wouldn't remember their names or recognize their face if they walk by now, but some would stand out. It's like, who are those 5 to 10 people? Again, not outcome, not like, hey, they were in your class and now they became president of whatever company. Great. It may not make you feel good, but maybe they're not super successful, but they're really happy in their life. And like, you saved them from maybe killing themselves or something, like, who knows? But the process of you working with them, you just really, when you were spending time with them, time just flew. They listened to you. You loved thinking about them. You woke up every now and then thinking about that student for some reason. You spent extra time with them. Who are the 5 to 10 people that come to mind? And you'll do it, and then you think about the 3 words for each one. Again, not why they were great, but why you liked helping them. Like,
so the growth that they did during the time.
Yeah.
From the time I've seen them, get to know them, to wherever they are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because of your interaction together.
Mm-hmm.
What did you inject into them that helped them grow faster?
Yeah.
And you'll see enough similarities between them that you'll find it.
Okay.
Just take some time to go to a coffee shop or go out in nature for a little bit, or just clear your normal environment, wherever you get relaxation, and just focus. First is like, who are the 5 people?
Yeah,
And
that's a good question.
who are like, what are, and don't worry about the perfect 5 people, because really, even if you had 20, you'll find that there's a similar pattern anyway between them. So
Yeah.
you're picking 5 people. Yeah, and then what are the 3 keywords? And you'll figure it close. And share your update on Movement Makers.
Okay, I'll do that. It's funny. One person I can think of is I remember a student who was not inclined to do my class, but he loved business.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a few years back, he came back to me and said, "Hey, he got into business, great entrepreneur." He was all happy because he was making more money than I was doing as a teacher. And he says, "Thank you."
Okay.
So, so it was funny.
It wasn't even a student in your class?
He was in my class, yeah.
Oh, he was.
But yeah, so it's interesting because he was not interested in what we're doing, but he liked the process. Because in science, I have the inquiry process where you have a question, figure out what you've got, the tools, the resources. You make a plan and then you apply it and you see what happens. And that's what he did, and he grew his business that way.
That's great.
So I know.
Like, you teach science and then he goes and he becomes an entrepreneur.
I know. So I can do that too. So
yeah. And then
it's exciting.
Whatever. So when you figure out what kind of connects all of those students together, then do some self-reflection to realize, hey, I probably need a lot more of this for myself too.
Yes.
And
that's and that's why I like the movement maker. There's always someone in the group that just says a few things and one word that just say, "Oh, I need to think of that," and I apply that. So thank you very much, Evan, for that, by the way.
You inspired me today too.
No way. What happened?
Yeah. Do I have it here? I just ran in. I've been
What is it?
You filmed the video that you posted in our Discord.
Yeah.
I have it here. Anyway, I'll just tell you the story. You filmed the video in your car.
Yes.
It was in your car, and somebody asked you. It might have been Michael. I don't know. Somebody asked you what microphone are you using? Because
yes. Oh yes.
And you said, what did you say as your microphone?
It's a little puffball. It's a microphone with a puffball at the end. That's all I could think of.
So I went out and got myself one.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, it works beautifully.
And I filmed it. I filmed it today, and it was my first time using it. I wish I had it to show you. Anyway, it's somewhere here.
Okay.
So anyway, I was thinking about you today. I remembered we had our call or our IGLive, and I just wanted to let you know that you inspired me to make better videos.
Nice.
Let's go.
It is amazing. It's a little rogue microphone.
Yeah.
It just connects to the phone. I know. Well, I'm glad. I can't wait to see that video, Evan. You need to post it. Let's go, Evan. Put contents out.
I filmed like 12 videos or something in the car.
No way.
It's a Rode microphone, and it's got the little puff thing at the end. And I thought, what? I've been playing around with microphones. I've been using my headset, the Apple headset, and I use the AirPods as well. And then I thought, you know what? Alain's doing this, so let me give it a shot too. And you're inspiring me to make better videos, Alain. It's
very nice.
Spark. You got me sparked up too.
There you go. Maybe spark is the word.
maybe it's definitely part of the 3 if it's not on top.
Yeah, I have to agree. Outstanding. Oh, that's fun.
Well, thank you for the time, man. Thank you for sharing your courage.
You're welcome.
Thank you for picking up the NFT. It's great having you as part of the family there too. And let me know. Like, keep us posted in the Discord what you come up with.
Yeah, I'll make a chart and you'll see the chart. Outstanding, Evan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please put in the comments below what you've learned, what you thought was the most interesting ideas that you got from this video. And on the side here, I'm going to put the next video where you will go and see how it's important to go beyond just planning and learning new things to actually take action and make the world a better place. So I'll see you in the next video.